Self-Care for Men. My name is Ed Cardinal, and I am pleased to be joined by my wife, Jude Monteserrato, who is a Purna Yoga Ambassador at the 2,000-hour level and also a certified yoga therapist. Make sure that you check out my interview with our teacher, Aadil Palkhivala, who is an internationally known yoga master and one of the founders, along with his wife, of Purna Yoga. In that interview, he discusses his connection to yoga, and he also discusses some of the benefits and a few poses in particular that are good for men, particularly in our culture, where we sit a lot. We have a tendency to be tight in the shoulders and the hips. And one pose he mentions is Supta Padangusthasana. He uses the Sanskrit, and that is the Sanskrit. It's basically a hamstring stretch. And in that interview, he discusses how that is good for the health of the prostate. That increases the blood flow and the energy flow to the pelvic region. I'm going to have Jude use me as the demo god, and she is going to bring us through a couple different variations of Supta Padangusthasana, the hamstring stretch. And thank you for joining us today, Jude.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. So before we get started with the stretch, I just want to show you that the hamstrings on the back of the thigh, right, they attach at the bottom of the buttocks, the pelvis here, the bone, and back here by the knee. We're not going to get too much into the anatomy, but that's the basic part of what you're stretching in this pose. So the first variation, stand up against the wall, align your feet parallel with each other. Everything I say is as much as possible, not to force anything. Be patient and kind to your body, gentlemen. So then bend your knees and then lift the right leg up and place the heel onto the chair with the toes pointing up. Again, you have the wall behind you for balance, so use that. And it's really simple. You lift the bottom of the belly up towards your chest. The lower part of your belly is what I'm referring to. And then contract the thigh muscles. These are the quadriceps, the thigh muscles, the front of your thigh. Inhaling, release, exhaling, engage the quadriceps, and of course lift the bottom of the belly. Now, if you're first starting to practice yoga and the breath gets confusing, continue to breathe and eventually work on the connection of the movement is on the exhalation. So the contraction, the engagement, the tightening is on the exhalation. And then you do that 9 times, bend the knee and slowly release, and then switch. Align your feet parallel with each other. There's a tendency for many of us, many men, to stand a certain way where the one foot is out and you lift the leg. And what you're trying to do is create balance in your body. So you bend the knee to lift it, place the heel onto the back of the chair. And notice also I have the chair on a mat so it doesn't slide. So make sure it's on something that it doesn't slip from underneath you. And then lift the bottom of the belly towards your chest. And then exhaling, contract the thigh muscles. Inhaling, release the muscles, maintain the lift at the bottom of the belly, and then exhaling, contract the thigh muscles.
Where should I feel this stretch, Jude?
The stretch should be felt in the back of the thigh where the hamstrings are, which I showed you in the beginning. If you feel it behind the knee or at the buttocks where the hamstrings attach, which we call the sitting bones, then make sure that you're strongly engaging the thigh muscles. If you're still feeling it, back off a little bit. Maybe you move the chair and place your heel onto a block, right, a wood bench, and you can do it that way. And there's other variations we'll show you that may be an option as well. So not to feel it behind your knee or at the attachment of the hamstrings by your buttocks. You do that 9 times and then you release. With any stretches that we'll show you, you're working on balancing the right and left side. So for Ed, if his right side, his hamstrings are tighter than his left, then he can start with the right, do it for 9 breaths, switch, do the left side for 9 breaths, and then go back to the right for 9 breaths. And eventually, it may take weeks, months, years, eventually they come into sync and their balance, and that's what we're working towards. Just the same as if you're lifting weights, you want to balance your strength on both sides.
What are some of the benefits of the hamstring stretch, besides what Aadil talked about, that increasing the blood flow and energy flow to the pelvic region, which is good for prostate health? Anything else?
It will help with lower back, because a lot of times if the hamstrings are tight, it's causing the pelvis to pull, which is connected to the lower back, and that pulls down and cause the tightness and discomfort in the lower back. So it's a great stretch for the lower back discomfort as well.
So releasing the lower back.
Releasing the lower back,
Good.
absolutely, absolutely.
Good.
And then variations of this with the chair.
So if the chair was not giving you a good stretch of the hamstring, then you can raise the leg up a little bit by using props.
By using props. And this is great at work, or if you're home and you're sitting a lot, you get up, you do some quick stretches. So this is a foam pad we use in Purna Yoga. So raise the foot up a little bit, so it will go into a deeper stretch. Straighten out the leg again, lift the bottom of the belly, and contract the thigh muscles. Same actions. Same actions. You may use a book. You may use a block of wood, an inch, 2 inches. A block. Anything that's hard and won't give is perfect. And you do it on that side, and then you feel good. Your hamstrings are open. You start standing taller as well.
How often should someone be doing this stretch? What do you recommend?
I would recommend to do it daily. To do it daily. 9 breaths. It doesn't take long, right?
I agree.
It doesn't take long. Of course, if there's any pain, discomfort, contact Ed. You're welcome to contact me as well. Because you're not forcing yourself in this. You're taking your time to open up your hamstrings. Really important to do.
Okay, the next variation would be generally done in a doorway without stairs, but for the sake of this demonstration, we don't have to move the camera. I'm going to do it over here in the stairway. So this would be for someone who is a little bit less flexible in the hamstrings, so they can use the benefit of the wall.
Yes, if you're less flexible, or even if you have the flexibility, it's a wonderful way to do it, because notice how it is. He's on his back. You place the heel onto the wall. The opposite knee is bent, and you can relax your whole upper body. And then you can move forward. It's nice to do. In my Happy Hips class, I would do this with people as well.
Now generally, I could have this leg straight in the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a reason I would need to bend this knee?
You bend the opposite knee if you have any lower back discomfort, pain. It's really nice to keep the knee bent. When I do my practice, sometimes I do keep the knee bent. It helps to release the lower back. But if you have any knee discomfort, lower back discomfort, you keep the knee bent. And the beauty of this too is that you can adjust. Your heel could be lower on the wall, depending on the openness of the back of your thigh, or higher. And you create the same actions. You lift the bottom of the belly towards your chest, and you contract the thigh muscles once again. It's beautiful. Notice the heel is on the wall, the sole of the foot is facing towards the ceiling, the knee is facing towards Ed's body. Again, this is the alignment, this is what you're working towards. It depends on your body. I know for me, when I first started practicing, after sitting at a desk and working out and never ever stretching, this was a lot. This is a lot. And working with different men, either privately or in class, usually this is quite a challenge for many bodies. And then you release after 9 breaths, and you work on the other side. Notice how I got up, he rolled over onto his side with his knees bent. Whether you have lower back issues or not, highly recommend bend your knees, roll over to your side, and then get up and use your hands to press to get up. It's a great habit to get into, men, gentlemen, even when you get out of bed. Right? You relax. You don't want to pop up and contract the back muscles.
And as Jude said, you would pick a doorway where you can do both sides. I don't want to just stretch out with one side and not the other. It wouldn't be balanced for me. All right, lastly, on a mat with a strap.
Correct. So lie on your back. Knee down. Now, you can start off with your knees bent. So bend your knees, please. And start with the legs together. And then raise your right knee up towards your chest and you place the strap around the front of the heel, not in the middle of the foot, not on the toe mounds. It gets different parts of the back of the leg. On the front of the heel, we'll work on opening up the hamstrings, and that's the focus of what we're working on today. Keep the opposite knee bent. Whether you have lower back issues or not, lift the pit of the belly towards your chest and contract the thigh muscles, the quadriceps. Now, and you do that 9 breaths, just the same actions as you saw in the other variations. Now, if your hamstrings are tighter, you've been working on the wall, but you wanted to try this, you could be here, perfectly fine. Lift the bottom of the belly and contract the thigh muscles. Release the shoulder blade down. And then on the exhalation, slowly release.
So that leg could be straight.
Yes, it's going to show on the other side. That leg could be straight. Go ahead, straighten it out. So it can be straight as well. Keep it active, meaning press out through the heel of your foot. Lift the bottom of the belly, contract the quadriceps. And then inhale, and as you exhale, lower down. Let's do the other side. Good. Ed is only spinning around just to show you. So you lie down. We'll start this one with the legs straight. You do the same. We're just doing this just for the demonstration, the instructional video. So you bend the knee and raise the leg up towards the chest, straighten out the leg. Press the heels of your feet away from your body. Of course, if this opposite leg is bent, you keep that foot rooted down onto the floor. Otherwise, with both legs straight, you press the heels away from your body. That will keep the legs active, as well as the leg on the extended leg on the floor. Place the hand onto the top of the thigh as a reminder to engage the quadriceps on the extended leg. So lift the bottom of the belly towards your chest as you inhale, and on your exhalation, contract the thigh muscles. On the leg that's lifted, and also on the leg that's extended. 9 breaths. After 9 breaths, slowly release the strap, bend the knee on the exhalation, lower the leg down. It's a nice release for the lower back. It also helps tremendously to open up your hamstrings, though it may take time.
Wow, that's Supta Padangusthasana, hamstring stretch, hamstring opening. Again, thank you, Jude,
My pleasure.
for being the teacher, and also she'll be our resident yoga instructor as we go forward with more demonstrations of poses that are good for men, opening up the hips and the shoulders. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button below, and also follow us, like, and comment on our Facebook and Instagram page. Looking forward to seeing you again, and thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy, gentlemen.